What is up, my friends? I hope that you are all doing well. You're very welcome along to Saturday's Transfer News Roundup. As we always do, we have gone through the media to find you guys 4 or 5 stories we think will be of interest to you surrounding Liverpool and the January transfer window. What we need from you guys is simply let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you like these stories? Do you believe them? Or what other avenues you'd like Liverpool to look at? If you enjoy the video, don't forget to drop a like. But most importantly, my friends, we're trying to chase down 250,000 subscribers as quickly as we can. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's a huge milestone for the channel, and I'm so excited about potentially getting there. So every bit of your support really does count. So today I'm going to start off with a story that is kind of multi-layered. The first part we have to get through is, are Liverpool interested in the player? The second part is, why is there a differential in price for English clubs versus domestic clubs in this case? And is he the right profile for the club? So these are all questions that I hope I can help answer, but of course I do want to know your thoughts as well. So the headline on this one is Liverpool in discussions over Lenny YORO transfer. So he is a Lille centre-back. He's, I think, 18 years of age, and it's his breakthrough season. This story says the teenager has been a breakthrough star for the French side in this season so far. Lille are eager to keep hold of him, but there is a price of €90 million for PSG who are interested in him. Now, this is what I said makes it interesting to me, because normally, as English football fans, we're the ones who have to overpay for players. If they know that Premier League money sniffing around, usually the price goes up. But the interesting part of this story that comes from Le 10 Sport, which is LE number 10 Sport, is that they claim that there is a lesser price for clubs in England who have shown interest in the player. So as I've said, €90 million or £77 million is what's being quoted to PSG when they inquired about his availability. This article goes on to say that Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United and a couple of other clubs in England have also registered their interest. The price difference, well, for English clubs, it's €70 million, so €20 million less than PSG would have to pay. And it feels good to say that for once, that English clubs might actually get a player cheaper than some domestic rivals. We've seen so many times Bundesliga to Bundesliga transfers or other transfers that have left Premier League clubs when they've come in for a player with a pretty hefty price tag. So again, I'm not going to say that I know too much about this kid or I've watched them too much, but the report does say that Liverpool have begun formalised discussions with Lille over the player. So if you're somebody that watches League, let me know, is this kid the real deal? Is he going to be worth potentially €70 million, which is about £60 million? Or is this just Liverpool being linked with a player to drive the price up? I really don't know, but I'd love to know your thoughts. I guess if we have really entered into discussions, we will find out about it soon enough. The next story that I want to bring to you guys today is just a little one about Owen Beck. So as you know, Liverpool have recalled him from his loan at Dundee, where he was doing quite well. But weirdly, because of bookings he picked up in July, I think it was in the Scottish League Cup, he's actually not available for Jurgen Klopp to choose for the game against Arsenal. That suspension carries over from his time in Scotland, so we won't be able to call on Owen Beck tomorrow, but the thought process is that with, of course, Kostas Tsimikas and Andy Robertson unavailable for the foreseeable, Rob will probably back the end of January, we may have cover with Owen Beck, of course, who was the great nephew of the great Ian Rush, so it's obviously in his blood, and he's been very well received, by the way, up in Scotland, played very well. So, yeah, let's wait and see. I was trying to dig up as much information as I can about him. He's a right-footed left-back who certainly loves to get forward and attack. There's some good article on The Athletic, if you've got the Athletic subscription, about Owen Beck and what to expect from him. I'd definitely say it's worth a read if you get a chance. So, a big story that I wasn't expecting to wake up to today came from the Daily Mail. You probably see where I'm going with this one already. I'll read you out the headline, and then you'll be in no doubt. Jordan Henderson, should I stop there? No, I've got to go on, right? Jordan Henderson wants return to the Premier League. The piece goes on to say that the former Liverpool skipper is not happy with life in Saudi Arabia and wants to come back to the Premier League. Look, I'm not really surprised that some players going over there, they don't like it. It's not working out for them. It's not what they expected, be it the style of football, the crowds, whatever. But what I don't want to happen, and I haven't seen it yet in fairness, is to see Jordan Henderson's name linked with a move back to Liverpool, because we've moved past them. You know, we've redone our midfield, we've brought in players, and I think this should be used as another example to people who are thinking of leaving Liverpool and looking at it as like the grass being greener. We've seen so many times when players leave, and not just Liverpool in fairness, but any of the top Premier League clubs, the grass is not always greener, And it's not really a huge shock to me to see that he's already wanting to get back to the Prem. I guess the question I have is, where would be realistic options for him if indeed he did want to come back to the Premier League? Is he still Premier League calibre? I guess that's not for me to answer. Could he go to Sunderland, as an example, into the Championship? I don't know, but this article does kind of play down the idea of Liverpool being involved, which is good news because, well, he already threw Jurgen under the bus once, so I think we should move on from him. But I am going to keep an eye on it to see if indeed he does end up back in the Premier League. So, another story about Kylian Mbappe, and don't worry, I'm not trying to say to you that he's signing for Liverpool, but we have again been linked with him. The reason I'm bringing it up quite simply is that we should know by the end of January what on earth is going to happen with Kylian Mbappe. Real Madrid have the same offer on the table that was there from 18 months ago, and apparently has until the end of January to make up his mind. Now, this is kind of at odds with what we'd seen reported a week or two ago that said he had till the middle of January to make up his mind. Seems like the goalposts continuously move with this one, and I don't think there's any chance at this point with the news that it looks, let's say, possible that Mohamed Salah gets a contract extension at Liverpool. If Mo does extend, we don't need Mbappe. We should be looking at Michael Olise in my mind, and I will move on to talk about him in a minute. But yeah, I think we'll get a resolution on the whole Mbappe saga. And it's been an interesting story, to be honest, because in the live chats we've had, you guys have made it pretty clear, a lot of you, that you just don't want Mbappe and the headache that is his entourage at Liverpool. Totally understand it. But, you know, the dream's always been there. When the dream's there, you got to allow yourself a little look at it every now and again. So we move on to talk about Olise. So there's an exclusive being claimed, and I don't know how it's being claimed, but there is an exclusive today to say that they found out that he has a release clause that comes into effect next summer, and it is over £40 million. It's not really an exclusive because I knew this information a week ago. It definitely wasn't an exclusive for me, but from what I'm able to garner, much more in-depth than this very vague piece, I think it's £60 million is the release clause that is in Olise's contract, but it doesn't come in to consideration until next summer, so nobody will be signing the kid in January by the looks of it. But I have to say, I want Liverpool to be in that discussion. If Mo stays, brilliant. I still want Liverpool to be in that discussion. He looks like a baller and somebody that could fill that Mohamed Salah role if indeed we alter how Mo sets up, or if he goes central or elsewhere. This is the kid that I'd like to come in. Now, there are obviously a little few concerns about his injury record. He's picked up a few hamstring injuries lately, so let's see what happens there. But he looks like a really, really good footballer. And 60 million quid, honestly, it feels kind of reasonable for the calibre of the player that you could get in. So the last story I have for you today is another strange one, and it feels like one of those days. So transfer sector on social media and Jack Talbot, who's a journalist, have said Fulham's pursuit of Andre is over. That's it. That's the end of the information given. Not that they don't want him, or it was an issue over wages, or an issue over the fee. They just say that it's over. So my question is, what happens now with Andre? Do we see him perhaps move to Europe, but outside of the Premier League? Will he go to, let's say, Portugal, as an example? Will he go to La Liga? Will he go to Serie A? I'm intrigued, but I'm also intrigued to see if Liverpool's name comes back up again. Totally understand, Endo's doing bits, he's gone off to the Asia Games. We have options now that we all agree that Endo is getting to that level, but I'm still intrigued to see the reasoning why Fulham have pulled away, and if Liverpool maybe make a last-ditch effort as the window closes to try and sniff out a bit of a bargain. So to summarise everything, that's kind of where I feel we're at right now. I think that what Paul Joyce said about as it stands, Liverpool not looking to be active in the January market, I think it's going to be a case of maybe one transfer starts another one, and teams then at the end of the window are presented with options that maybe weren't there. Because a lot of people are going to have the Euros in mind as well. If players aren't getting enough game time or feel like they haven't got a big enough platform, maybe as the window goes on they could push a little bit. Really interesting one today, by the way. Timo Werner is joining Spurs. You've obviously seen that. It's going to be a loan with an option to buy there for Spurs. And he was also linked with Manchester United, but apparently he wants to go back and play in the Prem because he has a point to prove. And obviously he's going to want to try and get into the German squad for the Euros as well. So that is pretty much it from me today, my friends. We will be live here for a watch along of the FA Cup tie against Arsenal at the Emirates tomorrow, starting from 3:30 in the afternoon, taking you right through the game. We'll have a match reaction video, we'll have player ratings, and of course, fan reactions live as well, which is a new additional bit of content we've put on a match day. So over to you guys now. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to drop a like on the video, and most importantly, I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. I will catch up with you tomorrow. Take care.